and Romeo and Juliet is the story of Romeo and Juliet told through the world of garden
warfare.
Alright, so before I actually talk about this episode, there was actually like a separate sub-series where they go back to school for some reason between this and the last episode. I mean, it wasn't really a sub-series, it was one episode before I realized that this was a stupid idea. Not much happens in it. I guess iconic character Chef Pennsylvania appears again, and is basically just a better version of episode 9. Noctis becomes the teacher because he was incarcerated for his crimes off screen. Pickle Rick appears. Yeah, anyway, I can't be asked to dedicate a full video to this, and I'm only mentioning it because it technically ties into the plot of this episode. Anyway, 24 minutes! You're really killing me here. Oh, and there are love hearts in the thumbnail, so of course this video has a much higher amount of views than the other ones. Also, this is a parody of Romeo and Juliet. Just what I want from the second to last episode of the entire series. Anyway, the episode starts as normal, but Noctis fucking destroys the intro, proving how powerful he has become. Oh, and I got a new wardrobe, so now their base is just a tiny little stretch of nothing. He'll start complaining about the school. Conehead oddly enjoys it.
Personally, I enjoyed it. That's because you're mentally ill.
Bucket suggests they blow it up, but Noctis is like, instead of an actual bomb, why not a review bomb? And they spam 1-star reviews. It is not explained if this works or not, but due to the fact that this episode was never followed up, I guess it did. Conehead then says he has to meet someone, and Basic and Duckus follow him as they believe that Conehead is unworthy of friendship, so must have some ulterior motive.
Can I come? No. I came anyway.
Basic theorizes that he's on a date, and Duckus agrees, but then a new goofy comic relief character appears, Blover. Duckus exclaims in fear, which alerts Conehead. Duckus is mortified at the revelation of Conehead dating a plant.
She's not a part of that group. She just goes to school with us. So she's a minor? That's even worse!
Well, that's certainly a direction to take in this episode. But if you remember the school episode, the only reason that they are forced to go to school is because when the plants were forcefully removed from their human bodies, and when the zombies were forcefully removed from their death, this reset their ages, so Conehead is not a nonce. This is thankfully not the direction we're taking this episode. Conehead may be an interdimensional tyrant from the dawn of time, but he understands the age of consent. Although the fact that I have to explain this in this detail probably means I shouldn't have done this plot in the first place. Anyway, Conehead is like, actually, she's one of the good ones. But then Blover says she got a job opportunity guarding the gem of the underneath. Womp womp womp. No love for you, Conehead. You simply do not deserve it.
Is there a problem? Yes, there's a problem because we are what you're defending it from. Uh-oh, this sure is a wacky turn of events.
Conehead begs Duckus and Basic to not say anything.
Would you do it for a Scooby snack? Conehead, those are painkillers.
Duckus agrees to not say anything because he wants to see Conehead suffer when it blows up in his face. Basic.
I don't care.
Blover arrives at the castle and gets to experience the sheer lunacy of the plants firsthand.
I'm being quirky and random.
Squash is having a party, which is a plot point now, and Yoshi overhears it and he's like, "Ooh, goo, 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 I will crash it because it's funny." Squash then sells Blover to Shigwe for marriage.
What? You can't do that!
Don't worry, I don't actually like you in any way. It's only so that I can exploit some loopholes involving taxes.
What? Shigwe wants to exploit tax loopholes with multiple brides, and in return, I guess he gives them, like, military armaments? I don't know. Just what we needed. Another cucking episode. We then cut to the zombies sitting on a big fan. Conehead is fawning over Blover like an utter cretin, much to the disgust of Duckus and Basic.
That's just love for you. Burning passion. More like burning at the stake for hedonism.
That's so true, Basic. Yoshi flies in and takes out the fan and invites them to the party for some reason.
It will be funny.
Conehead wants to go because Blover will be there, but Duckus is like, actually, we will get shot on the spot. They wear fucking COVID masks to hide their identities, which really goes to show when this episode was made. So they're in the party and it's just completely dead. No one is moving. Yoshi asks Conehead for money to buy a drink so he can succumb to alcoholism.
Okay, here's 50p. Please pay me back.
50p for a drink. I wish we lived in that sort of economy. But uh-oh.
Hang on a minute, I recognise them shoes. What there's zombies among us.
Again, really can tell when this episode was made. Woody just doesn't care the zombies are here. Conehead learns of this arranged marriage and is upset. Yoshi learns they are a couple and is surprisingly okay with it.
Hello. Are you a zombie? Yes.
Then we cut to the fan again and Conehead is venting about the arranged marriage. Yoshi suggests that Conehead marries Blover first because women don't have rights in the PvZ Plush world apparently. Blover meets up with Conehead and agrees. We then cut to Fume Shroom officiating the marriage because he doesn't care either.
I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may not kiss the bride because I despise public displays of affection.
He then says if a mushroom were to marry a non-mushroom, he would brutally kill them. What a wholesome guy. They then go back to that fucking fan and Blover goes back to her job. Yoshi has found another party to crash.
Funeral.
Basic then states that maybe he could get married this time and is very excited by this prospect, but uh-oh.
Oi you, who the bloody hell do you think you are?
Basic.
That's a bloody watch.
He pulls out a gun and then...
Foolish plants. You dare.
So Yoshi is just dead. He dies. He's gone. Conehead is enraged by this, as Yoshi was the only one to not judge him. Also...
Hang on a minute. If he's dead, how can he pay you back for that drink?
You got a problem with me, mate? Oi, you can't.
Then he arrives and punishes Conehead for murder, which he has the authority to do apparently. Conehead has just been so nerfed in this season. Like, why does he care what anyone thinks? Just turn them into a commemorative mug or something. That is probably something that you could, like, do. Anyway, Conehead and Blover say their goodbyes, and Conehead goes to live with...
Oh my god, it's Cheers Pompadom.
He says Conehead's new name is Maurice Pompadom. What an iconic PvZ character. We then cut to the plants. Blover leaves and asks Fume Shroom for help. Fume Shroom gives Blover a sinister potion that puts her to sleep and make the other plants think she died. Squash then finds her unconscious body and Shigwe shows up.
Oh no, my bride is dead. What an unexpected occurrence. Did you murder her? Of course not. I was going to after the wedding, but not right now.
She is then taken to the burial grounds with no hesitation. They don't even check to see if she's alive.
Greetings, Maurice. Your wife is dead.
What? I like how this note just has some fucking trigonometry thing on it. What? Why? Chaz wackily forgot to give him the other page of the note. I hope it doesn't cause some zany misunderstanding. Conehead meets Shigwe and fucking beats him to death. This episode plays less like a parody of Romeo and Juliet and more like a fucking AO3 fan fiction. Conehead then finds Blover's corpse in a washing basket and then takes suicide pills and dies. What? What is this episode? Blover then wakes up, finds Conehead's dead body and shoots herself with a gun. What? Tragic romance does not work well with this series. Please just stop. All of the characters then gather around and are all really sad. They see all the remains of like Shigwe, Conehead and Blover and start discussing the implications of the pointless feud, but then Duckus.
Pencil of healing abracadoodoba.
So this episode was nothing. Nothing. You lose. We were this close to having the great and powerful Yoshi gone forever. And also Conehead was revealed to not be dead in the first place because the dead cannot die. So I guess he was just resting whilst his wife shot herself.
Well, no aspirations for me. Goodbye, cowboy.
Bye.
Every time we get so close to uniting, it just stops.
I did it. Good job, Shigwe. Everything's going into place. Ripe and ready for the end of the world.
So apparently, the time travelers set up this entire thing, making Conehead experience love so he can start his redemption arc and become him. So I guess this episode wasn't entirely pointless after all. Also, the finale is next. This series is finally coming to an end. All the goofy comic relief characters, all the wacky and zany phrases, it'll all be nothing but a distant memory soon. The next retrospective will be the last one. Goodbye, viewers.